I didn't mention in the last clip, but I make jewelry. My name is Aviva. I live in Philadelphia. I'm 23 years old and I graduated college with a graphic design degree. While I loved it, I also hated it and I wanted to work with my hands. I've always been drawn to art and crafts and work not involving a computer. I think computers are a really great skill, but I don't know, something about it just was really draining. And I just couldn't see myself working on it for plus 9 hours a day like I do this. I am a silversmith primarily. I started with repurposing a lot of jewelry. So I would go to antique places and thrift places and flea markets, and I would buy old and broken things, and I would take them all apart and organize them, catalog them, and then use them, all the little pieces, and put them back together. I will go through how I put together things. This is kind of my most popular piece so far is watch chokers. You just get like old vintage watches and then I take them apart and then I use the watch faces and create necklaces out of them. One thing that I love about watches is that they are all so different. Like it's the same concept, right? Like just a clock, 12 numbers, the hand in the middle that goes around. But because of typography and because of design, each one is so dramatically different. The shape, the color, the make, the model, the style, the year it was made in, it all changes and varies the design slightly. So for something like this, uh, when I make these, I look at overall design first. So it's gold, which means I'm probably going to want to use some gold links to match it. Um, Also, the shape. So if you look here, it's widest in the middle and then narrow towards the top and the bottom. So ideally, I would want to use shapes that follow that rule. That's why I use these diamond pieces because if I put one next to the other, kind of looks the same. The next thing that I focus on is how it anchors to the rest of the chain. I think when people make necklaces, they don't focus on how things are joining together. And a mistake that I see some people making is that they will have something like this, right? And it has two anchor points, one on either side. Now, if I hold this, it's not going to fall correctly. Like it's not going to lay flat against the skin like you want it to. And one way you can fix that is looking at the difference between the watch face and the chain. Ideally, you would want the entire width to kind of be the same. So there's enough skin contact to keep it in place. Obviously, that rule can change, but I like making 4 anchor points. So one on each corner, or one for to enclose the clock essentially, um, and that way it'll be secure and it will lay flat and it will look nice. Like this. All right, so this is the chaos that I'm working with. This is the clock that I want to create the choker for. Um, First thing I look at is the shape. Again, overall aesthetics has this sort of computer-esque typography on it. It's round, it's silver. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for larger links that are going to act as the base. I found these little rings. I think they were part of like a belt or something. I also found a slightly larger ring and a few more in all different sizes. Now, when I am coming to a crossroad like this, I'm gonna take the watch and I'm just gonna put it next to each one and decide which one matches it more. So this one, my immediate problem is that it's slightly larger than the clock face. Ideally, I would want the watch face to be the center of attention. If I'm having something larger, branching or on the shoulder of the focal piece, it's going to take the focus away from it. So I'm probably not going to use these. Maybe towards the middle if I want more stability on the side, but ultimately I'm going to go with one of these two. This one matches the color more, but this one is smooth like the watch face. I typically go with color, so I'm gonna do that. Now I like roughly put out a design, and this is where it kind of breaks down. Like a lot of this is trial and error. If you see here, I created an anchor, like what I was saying before, like you have 4 anchor points. Typically there would be a joint or a bar that goes in between these 2 holes and it would connect in here, and that's where the band would go around or the links would start. I am sort of recreating that with some links that I already have. Um, these are what I created that off of. So just 2 jump rings and then 1 bar link. That's what these are called. Essentially, they're all just building components, and they're all links, but they have different names. So like these are jump rings, and this is called a bar link. These are just bigger jump rings, and so I built this piece to build the rest of it off of. Now from here, I'm just going to try to find the most seamless way to integrate this into the rest of the band. I feel like half the battle is just finding like 4 of the same different types of jump rings. Uh, if you can see from my process, a lot of these are mismatched. Like they're the same color, but it's not the same length of jump ring or gauge of wire. And so just trying to find something that will be cohesive, that's like half the battle. All right, this is my first go. I do like that. I think that looks cool and it is stable. So I think I'm gonna continue with this pattern. I think yeah, I'm gonna continue with this. Okay, yeah, that seemed to work pretty nicely. I'm happier with that. And now I just have to continue and finish it. right, so what I'm doing is I'm just gonna repeat this and mirror it onto the other side. Okay, so I did the rest off camera. It's magically done. I continued the pattern, as you can see. I had to work around some issues, namely not having enough O-rings that's hammered in this texture. And then also these other, they wouldn't lay flat. They're not laying how I wanted them to, and I'm pretty sure I figured it out. Just trying this way and that and turning things around. And it's not exactly how I want it to be, but I think with like another hour or so of playing around and trying things out, it will be done. But the base pattern is done. This is how I approach watch chokers as of right now, like a chainmail approach. Because I like making things complicated for myself, and honestly, it looks really cool, and each one is different. So, yeah, this is her. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being with me here today and watching me struggle. Like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.